We are the Tea Dance Trio. Thanks for having us here. We'll try not to break anything. The moon is still naked in the sky when the sun appears in the morning. How's it going? Not so bad. A frock of fresh mist floats above the early summer grass. Below its hem, spider webs and dewdrops, and the ankles of old trees. Beside the old mill in the heart of it all, Tully Glen. Population 57. 43 of them are lonely, even when they're sleeping. Up the wee lane that climbs behind the old granary, through a cove of sycamore, a wee black beetle scurries along, alone again. His tiny, tiny feet leave tiny, tiny footprints in the mud. Up the lane, past a rusty red Volkswagen Beetle with broken wing mirrors, spider webs and dewdrops. And from a wooden shed with a tin roof comes the smell. Nescafe instant coffee. Tully Glen Independent Men's Shed. From here comes the music. Three not so wise men up all night practicing for the tea dance. We are those unwise men. We do our best. Though some people might say, maybe your best isn't good enough. To those people, we would say, fuck you. Rosie, Rosie, Rosie Lee, I want me some sweet, sweet Rosie Lee. On the notice board above the kettle, there's a poster. Tea Dance and Romany Kate's Tea Emporium. Outside the village, in a wee farmhouse at the top of the glen, pulling on Wellington boots, putting on porridge, buttering 2 bits of bread, one for himself, one for the dog. Patter Slope, gentleman. And the crusty sweet smell of country cow dung drifts down from the hills into the village. In Quigley's house, the curtains are closed tight, but in the front room, the teenage boys are wide awake. They've been up all night, smoking skunk and drinking Polish lager. Tailbone Doherty rises to go for a pee, looks out the window in time to see the ankles of old trees. Across the bridge, snug as a bug, under a duvet of love, Kate snuggles beside her beloved Alex, dreaming of sheep. Bah! Special sheep. Bah! Wise sheep. Bah! Sheep with the cure for the internet. She set the alarm for 6:30, but then she hit the snooze button. Alex, wake up the fuck! Alex! Alexandra wakes and farts. What time is it anyway? And that sweet country smell of cow dung snakes down the street, past an unlucky black cat with a broken tail and 2 squabbling magpies, through a forest of intimidating posters cable tied to lampposts, up the hill, tall trees with loud crows. Down below, they're opening up the hall, and today the hall is the polling station. A chill comes from the south. The crows go silent, because who knows what the pros knows. A putrid smell seeping septic down the ears, a smell that corrupts the lungs with fear. They are here. They are here. But the grocer McCann can't smell anything. He's got hay fever. The grocer McCann is not a happy man. He's always giving out any time he can. He'd stop you in the street to tell you he's deadbeat, to tell you that his shoes are killing his feet. He thrives on misery. That's just the way he is. Everyone to be unhappy just like him. You'd be wise to pay no heed. His misery runs deep, bitterness and greed. His world is always bleak. You'd be wise to pay no heed. His bitterness runs deep. His world is always bleak, bitterness and greed. A white van pulls up outside McGarrigle's bed and breakfast. 2 men get out. They've been driving around the county all night in the dark, taking down posters. Porridge is hard to beat. I like it sweet. Some likes it salty. Some don't like it at all. Madge Kelly looks at a poster in the window of the post office while she waits for it to open. At 9 o'clock, on the button, Miss Bridie Montgomery opens the door and lets her in to sign on. Give me a lotto ticket and 3 scratch cards, please now, Bridie. Right behind her is Potter Slope. Not so bad now, Madge. How are you? The shop door goes ding again as Tailbone Doherty, recently returned from London. Are you going to the tea dance, Padda? I thought you might. They all turn and look at the poster on the notice board. Tea dance in Romany Kate's Tea Emporium. music by the tea dance trio. Proceeds in aid of the Tollyglen Yoga Sanctuary. The door goes ding again. It's the grocer McCann. Tea? What tea? A tea dance? A yoga sanctuary? Kelly's hardware store has sat idle the past 40 years. Till Kate Bradley came back from Colorado and took out a new lease. Opened up Romany Kate's Village Cafe, serving soup, sandwiches, and scones. Scones? Scones. Scones. After a while, she opened up a wine bar at the weekends with live music, all kinds of weird music, odd bands up from Dublin. Namaste. Come all ye young yogi and listen to me. We are mights power hipster. Find a decent cup of coffee round here. The place was an enormous success. People coming from as far away as Letterkenny. Twice a week, Kate taught yoga up in the hall till the caretaker ultimated her. You can't be lighting candles and incense in the hall. Health and safety. Kate's partner, Alexandra, a builder from Derry, suggested that they do a job in the wool store, convert it into a yoga room. Follow your dreams. My dream, a yoga sanctuary and a tea emporium. Sounded like a good idea at the time, until one Friday night after a few bottles of wine. A tea emporium? What a wonderful idea. There's all kinds of cats in Tullyglen. Harry Doherty, aka Tailbone Doherty. Tailbone, that's what they called my father. He was a blacksmith, you know. Got kicked by a horse on a tailbone. 1929. Tullyglen never forgets. I left here when I was 15. I went to London, followed my dreams, got a job in Ronnie Scott's. He lasted 3 days till they kicked him out. Then I got a job in a club round the corner. I've been in the music business all my life. I've met them all, you know, working in the cloakroom. I could tell you about some of the people I've met. I could. Me and Miles Davis, I could tell you stories about him. He made Miles Davis a sandwich one night. Miles Davis ignored him. That's the story. 2 months ago, Tailbone was in his little bedsit in Soho with his lover, Sita, a respectable Hindu lady. After some brief passion in his threadbare settee, he offered to walk her as far as the taxi. Down the steep staircase, out into the streets of Soho. A boy stepped out of the shadows with an old revolver, squeezed the trigger, hit Tailbone in the shoulder. Tailbone slumped. The boy held the gun up to Tailbone's head and squeezed again, but the gun jammed. He turned and run. The boy was Sita's son. Didn't want any dirty old Irishman anywhere near his mum. When the detective asked, "Did you know the shooter?" Tailbone says, "I never seen him before in my life, some middle-aged geezer." But he knew it wasn't over, the boy would be back again. Time to get out of town. He had no savings, some, but not enough. However, friend of mine, Lionel, junkie, home player, called round the club to give me 20 quid he owed me. We stepped out into the lane, never split. "You're looking well, Lionel. Had a win in the horses, had ya?" Lionel told him a story. He owed a drug dealer some money. The drug dealer called round to his council flat. "Lionel, man, you make me vex. How am I supposed to fix it?" He made Lionel an offer that Lionel couldn't refuse. Lionel's little council house was to become a storage depot for heroin. Here's some for yourself, man, so you don't get tempted. Tailbone, his arms still in a sling, got a cab down to Lionel's. "Hello, Lionel. I was in the manor. Thought you might like to smoke some of this nice Sensimelia." He sat down, had a couple of spliffs. Then Lionel cooked up some nice brown for himself. And bang! Gone down to Dinkytown. Tailbone went down to the spare room, found the stash, took a bag of smack the size of a tobacco pouch. Felt bad, but then he got the tube down to Ladbroke Grove, where he knew a man. Deal was done, he left with cash in his pocket. Went down to Euston, got the boat train to Holyhead. 24 hours later, he was in Tullyglen. He got himself involved in all sorts of stuff since then, even managing a band, because there's all kinds of cats in Tullyglen. A tea emporium. You could have a tea dance. It's all the rage in San Francisco, you know. And I know the very band. Outside the polling station, a Garda car with two Gardaí sitting, watching, practicing their detective skills, character profiling, trying to guess who voted no and who voted yes. Garda Broderick turns to Garda Kelly. "And how is your mother?" "At least she's getting out of the house." She comes out of the shop, looks at her shopping bag. She doesn't know what she's bought. There's a poster in the window. Tea dance in Romany Kids Tea Emporium. She never goes dancing. It's a month since the funeral, and she can't believe that he's gone. "Hey," she said, "hey, this is no way to behave." She said, "Hey, this is no way to be." She walks home, puts the key in the door, puts the shopping bag on the table. She'd love to go dancing, but she don't think she'd be able. She takes out his newspaper. She'll never read it. Fish finger. crackers, his Friday favourite, and 2 scones. She'll only eat one. She looks out the window, sees the little birds in the bird feeder. She's got them some nuts, 'cause she needs someone to need her. Hey, she said, hey, this is no way to behave. She said, hey, this is no way to be. She goes upstairs, opens the wardrobe, gets out her good dress and throws it on the bed, turns on the immersion, looks for a good handbag. She can't remember the last time she put on glad rags. He never wanted to do anything, just sat home and watch television. Hey, she said, hey, this is no way to behave. She said, hey, this is no way to be. Hey, hey, this is no way to behave. Hey, this is no way to be. Hey, this is no way to behave. In the Red River Valley Bar, sitting in the spot where he always sits, sipping a pint of Smitty, patter slow. In his pocket, an envelope. He takes it with him everywhere. A letter from a young Dutch woman. Came to Tullyglen 6 years ago, looking for Irish music. A flash of light comes in the window and hits the mirror behind the bar. And Paddy remembers sitting at the bar with her, and her asking him questions about his life. I'm not from around these parts, you know. I'm from another planet and another galaxy altogether. I don't tell many people that. I did one night. I was drunk. Didn't go down well. You see, I was on a mission. Flying a wee scout ship. Low over the hills. Too low. Tail tipped on a Scotch pine and I went into a spin. When I woke up, I was looking at an Earthman. My name's Padder Dove Duffy, and you're very welcome to the Shilling Hill. Well, he brought me back to his wee house, and he washed my wounds, and he gave me soup. I don't know who you are or where you come from, but you look like a decent man to me, and you can stay here till you feel a wee bit better and get your wee spaceship fixed up again. But people around these parts don't like strangers. So you'd be as well to see you're my sister's son, up from Monaghan, to help on the farm. Well, that's the way it was. We'd work around the land during the day. The evenings I'd go into the barn and try to fix up the ship. Well, hard getting parts, you know. I was using bits of old tractors and everything. Anyway, one day we'd been out in the bog, I came home and somebody broke into the barn and robbed the ship. Sure, couldn't go to the guards. That was me scuppered. Anyway, the years went by then. Father Dove died, it left me the farm. I'm not complaining. I have the pension and my health is good. But it's unlikely now that I'll ever get to go home. That night, Father walked the Dutch girl back to her tent and he pointed up to the part of the universe that he came from. Make sure you call round to my house in the morning for some breakfast, won't you? Sitting in the spot where he always sits, sipping a pint of Smithwick's. Patter Slope. In his pocket an envelope. The mobile library stops outside the pub. Driver goes inside for the hair of the dog. Give me a Jameson and a small bottle of stout. It's like my throat's been cut, my tongue is hanging out. I'm after coming from the door. Nobody wants books anymore. I'm after coming from the door. Nobody wants books anymore. The Quigleys have gone to Medjugorje again, leaving their teenage son Simon to mind the house on his own. He sits on the couch and tries to process the past 24 hours. His friend Rory's sleeping in the armchair. His feet smell like roadkill, causing Simon nausea. Simon starts to count, because he likes to count. It makes him feel safe. In the past 24 hours, he's taken 2 pills, drunk 2 naggins of Buckfast, taken 6 cans of Red Bull, 6 cans of Pratsky. Along with Rory, he smoked a 1/4 ounce of weed. Watched a documentary on YouTube that scientifically proved the earth is flat. They watched some porn after that. Got a bit messy. Then they killed zombies on Xbox. And at 7 in the morning they went onto the darknet and think they might have witnessed the live murder of a young Bangladeshi woman. Simon's paranoid. He thinks when his parents come home, They're going to smell ganja off the couch because the couch smells of ganja. The couch smells of ganja. The carpet smells of ganja. The curtains smell of ganja. The whole house smells of ganja. He Googles how to get rid of the smell of ganja from your couch and is surprised at the abundance of information available. Transition year has been a year of self-discovery for Simon. He's discovered who he really is. It was on the internet. He's an incel, an involuntary celibate. And the reason life is so difficult is because he's a heterosexual white male in a world that is hostile to heterosexual white males. Even after all that heterosexual white males do for the world. And now, he's not even sure if the earth is flat or spherical. There's a song in his head that's been there for years. Nobody loves me, nobody loves me. On Bridge Street, Chevrolet Kelly sits in her mother's Jeep, waiting for her mother to come back from the shops. Across the street, she sees Penny Coyle. State of her. She's just jealous. Haters gonna hate. Hurry up, mommy, let's get out of here. Penny Coyle and Saoirse Doherty. Arty and farty, always ready to party. Wearing the clothes that they bought in a charity shop in Derry yesterday. They don't care what she thinks. They don't care what you think. They don't care what I think. They don't care what anybody thinks. They know what they look like. And today they start their new job, pouring tea. Nails and shoes, tiny tattoos, tea crew. Nails and shoes, tiny tattoos, tea crew. Kate opens the door of the emporium to let them in. What are you two supposed to be? We're supposed to be us, Kate, who we were born to be. They push past her into the shop, like your badge. Tea emporium. Aroma-rich room. Shiny glass jars, spicy and nicey, and tablecloths to die for. Tiny teapots, tiny teacups and saucers, cupcakes, fairy cakes, Carnamugga carrot cake. God, Kate, you have the place gorgeous, so you do. Hasn't she? She has. What's that, Saoirse? Here, girls, put on these uniforms. Kate, we can't put on them uniforms. Why not? Because we'd look stupid. In a little yard out the back of the wool store, the tea dance trio, smoking state-of-the-art electronic cigarettes, have just found out they're not getting paid for the gig. What do you mean we're not getting paid? Chillax, would you? You're getting very excitable. Listen, I know what I'm doing. You never know who's going to be in the audience tonight. It's all under control. It's exposure. People die of exposure. too good for Tesco. We should be in San Francisco. We were highly strung in limbo till tailbone came along. Now we're the T-Dance Trio. T-Dance Trio. Here we are, 5 weeks later. Nothing's gotten any better. Playing at a tea dance in Tullyglen on a Friday afternoon. Next week the tour begins, kicking off in Castlefin, then Drumkeen, then Stranorlar. It's all downhill from there on in. No talk of San Francisco. We were better off playing outside Tesco. San Francisco. At 3 o'clock, Alexandra comes down the ladder after hanging the last of the bunting. She looks at Kate. Kate looks at the girls. She flips open the sign on the door from closed to open and opens the door, but there's no one there. She looks down the street. There's people around, but none of them coming in this direction. The wait begins. Put away them phones. We're taking photos for Instagram to let people see what they're missing. At 3:05, Angela arrives to apologise. I'm well sorry, Kate, I can't make it. 3:10, the Peters arrives, looking for something free. Have you any wine? Have you any ordinary tea? Then the nice herds arrive, bringing a total to 7. Then Mrs. Daly arrives with her mother, who hasn't voted yet. And when Penny finds out that Mrs. Daly's mother hasn't voted yet, oh, please, mister, would you not go up now? I've no vote. Would you not vote for me? Would you not? I'll bring you a cup of tea when you come back. You'll be all right. Then that nice wee Moroccan woman arrives with her 2 daughters, Lily and Aisha. They get smothered by affection from Saoirse and Penny. It's going nicely. A bit quiet, all right. Alex, I think we just start. I'm already after giving the manager the money for the band. Just then the door opens and people start to dribble in. The great and the not so great of Tullyglen. Families that have been here for hundreds and hundreds of years, and below ones that only came in the past 100 or 150. All kinds of people. There's 2 ex-IRA men with their new friend, an ex-UVF man. They're showing them around Donegal as part of a peace-funded initiative. Kate doesn't want to mention gunpowder tea. Then there's the ones up from Dublin. The hippies came up about 20 years ago, opened up a snail farm, doing very well. There's milk tycoons. Your man used to launder diesel. And there's Lily, used to be in Bad Meinhof. She's in Wikipedia and everything. God, Kate, you have the place gorgeous. There's suffragettes from the 70s, anarcho-syndicalists turned entrepreneurs. There's Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael, and other people with dodgy pasts who don't want to talk about it. Kate, you have the place absolutely. Come here. I know you're busy. You have a come here to me. Where did you get that tablecloth? Have you any ordinary tea? Kate steps out to the little place behind the wool store. What are you looking at? 6 years. 6 bloody years. Aromatherapy, hypnotherapy, aquatherapy, homeopathy, acupuncture, patches, tablets. Have you any ordinary tea? I spent years working my fingers to the bones in America, you know. Working in the saddest little shitholes you could imagine. And I kept smiling, because every dollar tip that I got, I knew it was going towards having a place of my own back home. And then I came back home, and the shit that I had to put up to when I came back here. Don't be playing any weird music. If they want to hear country and Irish, play country and Irish, all right? We don't know any country and Irish. You'd want to learn fast. All right, everybody, if you can all come in now, you can bring your cups with you. Come on in. We're all going into the dance hall now. The yoga room, really, but it's a dance hall for today. You can bring your biscuits, but don't get any crumbs. That's a brand new floor, hey? Okay, come on. We're all going. It's going to start now. They are here. They are here. An old horse with protruding rib bones and bulging bloodshot eye, fleas hopping off it, comes up the road, pulling a wooden cart full of shackles and chains and instruments of shame from a bygone age, followed by a gang of men, bedraggled, decrepit. The men who invented Ireland. There's an unholy bishop, a dodgy poet, a bitter school teacher, a cowardly soldier, and a drunk barrister, followed by a host of arse-lickers. The horse comes to a halt outside the tea emporium and turns to dust. This is as far as this cart is going. They need a new horse. And the dodgy poet presses his face to the glass of the emporium in time to see the last one going into the tea dance. Ladies and gentlemen, you're all very, very welcome here today. Now, I'd like to ask you now, straight away, to lift your cups for a toast to Kate. That would be tea toast. To Kate, for bringing the twin benedictions of yoga and herbal tea to Tallyglen. Kate. I'd also like to introduce you to the band. You may recognise them from the Dole office. Joking, I am. You might not know them, but mark my words, in the next couple of months, these boys is going to be in a Late Late Show. They will be, mark my words. Put your hands together for the Tea Dance Trio. stir it up. Baby, dip your biscuit in me. Thank you. Next dance coming right up. Take the blanket from the bedroom. Stand by your man. Tie a yellow ribbon. The flower of sweet strawberry. Pretty little girl from Omaha, the hills of Donegal, the black hills of Dakota, among the Wicklow hills. 5 little fingers, 4 roads to Glenamady, 3 shamrock, 2 cigarettes in an ashtray, the banks of the Ohio, the old rustic bridge, D-I-V-O-R-C-E. I'm so lonesome I could cry. I'm nobody's child. I'm nobody's child. Nobody's kisses, us running wild. No mommy's kisses and no daddy's smile. Nobody loves me. I'm nobody's child. Thank you. Next dance coming right up. At a tea party in Boston, they tip tea into the sea. At a tea party in Iowa, they brew up stupidity. At a tea party in London, they take out them old trombone. But there ain't no tea dance in the world like in Tullyglen. Lapsang Souchong, peppermint and citron. The ginger lights my fire, and the ginseng turns me on. I'm feeling the fennel, the chai cardamom is in. There ain't no tea dance in the world like in Tullyglen. Everybody's out dancing, having fun. Ages since they danced, touching. Can't remember the last time I held somebody. Dancing and smiling, laughing, touching, breathing, feeling, being alive. There's things here that aren't under remote control. And then they feel a chill around their ankles. They are here. They are here. Cold, bloodless fingers touching people inappropriately. the grip that reaches beyond flesh into the heart, where they grasp and squeeze all the joy out of life. They are here. The people of Ireland have always had a fondness for tea. There are unscrupulous women among us who would exploit this weakness as Adam was exploited by Eve. These women create concoctions with cinnamon and other sinful spices. We are unprotected by the law as they go forth to practice their black arts of yoga, Pilates, and Zumba. But nobody's listening, they're all dancing. I'm feeling the fennel, the chai cardamom is in. There ain't no tea dance in the world like in Tullyglen. Thank you. Next dance coming right up. Thank you. I've just been handed a note here. Can the owner of the 1937 De Valera Constitution parked outside move it now? Kate takes Alexandra by the hand and they go to the front and start dancing. If not now, when? If not here, where? If not us, who? If not love, what are we supposed to do? Excuse me, would you like to dance? You've got lovely dimples when you smile. Don't stop smiling. That's a lovely dress, by the way. Oh, you're a good dancer, aren't you? I hope you don't mind me saying this, but you're a very attractive woman. This might be a bit forward, but I have to ask, are you married? Oh, excuse me, sorry, that was so insensitive of me. Please forgive me, I had no idea. This must be a very difficult time for you then. I'm sorry. If you need a shoulder to lean on or anything you want, I'm here. I'll be here, I'm here. If not now, when? If not here, where? If not us, who? If not love, what are we supposed to do? At the far side of the hall, Pater Slope is having an epiphany. For too long now, he's been pretending to be someone who he's not. He can't take it anymore. He goes to the middle of the dance floor. His inner alien is crying out to dance. And the herbal tea is kicking in. He wants to dance. Dance like he used to dance years ago on a planet far, far, far away. There's nothing I'd rather do, Sally, than step outside for some fresh air with you. It's a lovely evening, isn't it? It certainly is. You can smell the summer. I'm not talking about the silage. Reminds me when I was a boy, you know. I'm from here, you know that, Sally. Yeah. I left when I was 15 to follow my dreams. Went to London. It all worked out good, though, in the end, you know. I'm a success, so to speak, you know. I know all the big stars, Sally, I do. I know them all. Well, except for the young ones, but they're not really stars, really, are they? Not like Miles Davis or anything like that. Sometimes I wonder what would happen if I'd have stayed. Open up a dance hall or something like that. Then I wouldn't have the connections that I have now, though, would I? And it's not too late to start something up. Harry, do you not know who I am? My maiden name's McCann, Sally McCann. My big sister was Patricia. You used to fancy her. Used to be hanging around the front gate all the time. I can had a bit of a notion of you, but I was too young. You didn't notice me. I loved your teddy boy hair. I was glad when you went, though. I remember seeing you when your mommy would send you down to the pub to get your daddy out, and him chasing you out of the pub and hitting you a clatter. I mind seeing you one night, you were sitting outside and he came out and he just didn't say a word, he just hit you a kick. For your sake, I was glad when you went, but I'm glad to see you back again now, Harry. The only thing is, there's enough big shots in Tullyglen without you. You're a good man, Harry, but you'd want to cop yourself on. I'm away off home now. Walk up the road in my own, thank you. Maybe you could have a cup of tea during the week. That'd be lovely, Sally. I would love that. I'd really like that. And Harry looks across the road at the pub and remembers winter nights waiting outside. And remembers the feeling when his father would come out and hit him a punch. And the feeling of his brain slamming against the inside of his head. And his father kicking him up the road. And him crying. And all the neighbours looking out the windows. Because everybody knew. And Harry'd been a lifetime running from them feelings. And it's too late to stop now. He walks into the tea emporium where he sees Kate with a tray of dirty cups. Kate, I was just wondering, please, if you could do me a favour. I need help. It's I'm not good with computers. I was just wondering if you could help me to book a ticket, airplane, in that. In Quigley's kitchen, Simon is sitting at the table, looking at a bowl of Middle Eastern food. In the front room, Rory's still sleeping, and the air is rank around him. An hour ago, the next door neighbour came to the front door. The wee Moroccan woman with a bowl of tagine. I know your mommy's away. I thought you might be hungry. And she smiled, and she's got kind eyes. And Simon wanted to cry. He wanted to cry. cry, because there's not a day that goes by that he doesn't curse them for coming to his country. And why don't they fuck off back to their own country? And now he's sitting looking at this bowl of tagine, remembering her kind eyes and thinking, why are they so hard to hate? And he needs someone to hate more than he hates himself. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a wonderful afternoon. Well, it's gone to the evening now, and it's getting quite late, really. But yous have been absolutely wonderful. And I can really tell, by the way yous was dancing, yous love the tea dance trio. I know yous do. You don't have to clap. I know. You don't have to clap. It's obvious. It's obvious to me and to everyone. So I'd just like to remind you that when you go home this evening, if you could, first thing you do, you get in the door, turn on your computers, and once it heats up, if you could all, what you could do is you could all send a Twitter to your friends and tell them to come to Rafo in Cornwall. Oh, these are places they're going to be playing next week. You know, we're going to get this tour off to a flying start. And one other bit of news that these boys haven't heard yet, I'm just after coming out of Kate's office now. And once this Irish tour of North East Donegal is over, I just come out of the office now with Kate. We've just booked the tickets. Once it's over, we're going to San Francisco, boys. Take it away. Of the world to make this place better for future boys and girls. They travel by day and they travel by night, cause they love this fucking country and they wanna make it right. Aeroplanes, motor cars, trains and boats, they all came home. They came home to vote. Baby, see the side, she's all living the right. She's living in a regular, and she never gonna cry. She's in the solo room, but she never gonna ride. When she's on the mama, baby, and I roll ride. Aeroplane, motor car, train, and boat. They all came home, they come on the road. Thank you. Kate stands at the door saying goodbye to everybody, and thank you. No, thank you. I'll look it up and I'll tell you where we got the tablecloth. People start to trickle out into the street. 20 yards up the pavement, the grocer McCann, like a predator in the Serengeti, waits for a straggler to corral and interrogate. So what was it like in there? No, I wouldn't pay to get in to hear that racket. Are you joking me? The herbal tea, what kind of tea was that now? And the ordinary tea at all, just all herbal tea. Pater Slope comes out and walks up the road with a light in his eye. He looks up to the sky, thinking tonight might be the night when he sees a sign. And he makes up his mind that first thing in the morning he's going to go into that barn and start building again. He's going to build a new ship. And a girl comes running up the road waving her phone. She calls her friends. She's just got a message on WhatsApp. It was on the Late Late Show. It's going to be a landslide. And there's girls hugging in the street and laughing and crying and holding each other. comes out and he sees Simon across the road looking into the river. He walks over. Hello, young man. Thinking about doing a bit of fishing, are you? I used to fish in that river, you know. You probably know salmon left, I caught them all. I'll tell you how I done it, though. I'll tell you how. Why don't we go for a cup of tea? The place is closed, but I know the owner. We'll be all right. Yeah, come on. Friday night in Tullyglen, catching up with old friends, back from London and Berlin. It's good to see them again. San Francisco's cool, but it's not as cool as Tullyglen. Summertime in Tullyglen, remember mad shit we done before we all got sense. Some of us still have none. San Francisco's cool, but it's not as cool as Tullyglen. A tractor passes by, the boy turns and waves. Wish on a mackerel sky, the turf will get saved. Friday night in Tullyglen, marching to a different drum. Time to begin again. A change is gonna come. San Francisco's cool, but it's not as cool as Tullyglen. A tractor passes by, the boy turns and waves. Wish on a mackerel sky, the turf will get saved. In Tullyglen, in Tullyglen, the sun is still in the sky when the moon appears naked.